Alright, I'm doing a little reloading today of some 300 Blackout, and I'm using the round nose 110 grain FMJs. Basically these are for the M1 carbine, the 30 cal, and I've seen some people do these before, so I thought I'd give it a try. I'm set up to do, I've already done some here. I've got some 17 grains. I'm doing 10 each. 17 grains of H110, 18 grains. I'm going to do 19 grains and then 20 grains, and that's where I'm going to stop. Then I'll go back and tweak it based off of, the functionality. I'm running on the length. I've noticed these are kind of different. They all seem to have a different length. Maybe that's because the head is round. On the length, I'm running, this one's 1.8345, 1.835, 1.835. So it looks like it's about 1.835. Let me check this one again. 1.8345. So it's 5 thousandths off. So about 1.835 on the length, 17 in steps of 1 grain up to 20 grains, 10 each. So I'll show you my process here. I'm using the Hornady AP press, and I've tried to put some light up here so you can see what I'm doing up high, but it's fairly simple. Let me put my safety glasses on. So I just drop a case in. I've got my expander die here, which normally on an AP press, the Hornady, this is where you size and decap. I'm doing things a little different, but that's where I've got it. Then I'm dropping in my primer here. I don't know if I'm having trouble with my press or what, but I'm really getting down on it because for some reason I just want to make sure it's seated. Then the next thing I do is I drop another case in until I get around. Now this is my powder drop right here. Okay, and then I'll seat the primer, put another case in. And the next one, this is where I'm going to do my bullet feed. So I go up, I hold, I drop a bullet in, and this is a little rig. I may expand a little bit on what setup I have here, but basically I have another crimp die, and I took this out of the, what was it out of? Oh, out of the 9mm bullet drop. So I just unthreaded this. This is the Hornady, and it slips right in there perfectly. And I can use the bullet crimp as the feeder, which you'll see it works perfect. And after I said that, it ain't working, so it's okay. Why is it not coming out? So I will say it doesn't work perfect, but it does work 8 out of 10 times, let's say. No big deal. I'm just watching everything that I do, and if it doesn't drop, I just wiggle it, it falls through. It's not perfect. I may do some tweaking on this thing. Put another case in, go up, drop another bullet down through, kind of give a little shake, go back down. See, that time it worked perfect. Press in my primer. Now, oh, this was my bullet, I missed it. This was my bullet seating die, was the next one. So it goes expander die, and then the expander die, the primer, and when I come up, it's on the powder, then it's the bullet drop, then it's the bullet seat, and now it's a crimp, and I'm just putting a very light crimp on everything. Okay, so that's 5 right there. Now I've been doing 10, but I'm going to stop at 5 just for this little video, and I'll just make my way back around so you can see what's going on. So there's my first one. I'll show you. You probably won't be able to see the crimp. It's ever so slightly. And I came up with this, how much of a crimp I wanted. I brought my 300 Blackout upper, and I put the barrel, dropped it down in the barrel till I got a good fit, kind of pressing on it to make sure that it would drop freely. And that's how I came up with my crimp. So it's just barely any crimp. And so that's pretty much it. So now let me put my primer in, and I'll just work my way around, and we'll finish off these 5. Drop a bullet in right here. Okay, nothing to prime. Drop another bullet in. And one of them dropped on the floor, which isn't a big deal. So there you go. That's my 5, and I kind of got ahead of myself, so it's not a big deal. I was still set up for 18. All my primers went in perfect. Crimps. We'll just check the length on that. 1.835, I think. 1.835. Let's see if we're still right on the money. 1.8355. 1.834.5. So there's a little variance. Not enough for what I'm doing. But that one's way off. I don't know why. This one's showing 1.829. It does look like a little flatter tip. I'll set that one off to the side, but 1.8375. That one's off too. 1.836. That's weird. So I'm going to measure some bullets and then see if I've got some issues with the tips on the bullets. But that's pretty much it. Okay, I figured I'd show this just to kind of confirm with y'all and myself. So here's 4 bullets. I just pulled them right randomly out of the bag, and I've already measured them, but they're not the same. So this one's coming up at 6.525, 0.6525. Whoops. 0.6525, 0.6515, 0.652, and 0.6525. So they're off a little bit, and that could be where we're getting the difference. Okay. All right. I know somebody's going to ask, so I'm just going to weigh each bullet, and we'll get an accurate weight on that. 109.9. 109.7. 110.1. 110.1. So there you go. They're off, a little bit. It's not perfect. It's a plinking round, so it'll be fine. So I'm just taking and writing on here 18 grains, the ones that I just did. And I'm left-handed, so my handwriting is terrible. But I know what I'm writing, so that's all that matters, right? Unless somebody else tries to shoot my ammo. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna show you how consistent the whoops, wrong button. The Hornady powder drop is. Okay, so I should be right at 19 grains of powder. Okay, I just wanted to show you my AP powder drop, and I should be right at 19 grains of powder. So let's see how close it is. If I have to tweak it a little bit, that's okay. But what I'm mostly wanting to do is just show getting consistent powder charges. So I'm going to do it again. That was 18.9. Again. I'll do one more just to prove that it was not an accident, and then I'll reset it up to be exactly 19, and it should be good to go. I was trying to do it earlier by measuring the case, and I was getting inconsistent. 18.9. So that's, I'm going to have to measure that way, because putting the case in there was getting inconsistent. So I just need to tweak it up 1 grain and we're golden. So I got all but one. I ended up with a case. This one is, come on, focus, a PPU. All the rest of these are Perfecta. And so, strangely enough, the bullet dropped right through on this one. But I'd already used the primer, so I didn't want to open a new box just for one primer. But there you have it. We've got 17, 18, 3 rows of 18, 2 rows. Technically it's 3 rows of 19, and then 2 rows of 19.5. I didn't get to the 20 because my wife needs me, but we got from 17 to 19.5. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.